You may or may not have heard this before, but it keeps people up at night, and it's time the truth be known. We are living in an era of information overload. The more we read, hear and see, the less we process and remember. Don't you just wish there was a way to remove the clutter and get to the really good stuff? Well, that's what we aim to do for you at least 5 times a week, from the bizarre to the amazing and often unbelievable, bringing you the facts you love to hear. The universe is chock full of mysteries, and sometimes those mysteries exist right here on our pale blue dot. Let's get to it. Here are 25 interesting facts that'll make you question life. You know, that dark, desolate land from Lord of the Rings, turns out truth is stranger than fiction because Mordor exists. Well, sort of. Pluto's moon, Charon, has a region scientists decided to call Mordor Macula. It's this really dark area, reddish even. Imagine a dried bloodstain the size of a small country and you're not far off. Now, it's not because of any volcanic activity or orcs making weapons. It's actually methane that escapes Pluto's atmosphere and freezes onto Charon's surface. Still, pretty cool, right? Makes you wonder what other fictional places might be lurking out there in the cosmos. We all know the moon, Earth's trusty companion. But did you know it's slowly ditching us? I'm not talking about some dramatic Hollywood-style breakaway, it's more of a cosmic drift. Every year the moon moves about 1.48 inches further away. That might not seem like much, it's about the same rate your fingernails grow, but over millions of years that adds up. Eventually it'll be far enough away to impact things like tides and maybe even Earth's rotation. Don't worry though, we're talking billions of years in the future. Imagine reading a book and not being able to picture the characters or the setting. No, I'm not talking about a lack of imagination. Some people have a condition called aphantasia, essentially making them mind blind. They can't voluntarily conjure up mental images. It's like their internal world is a silent film. Their thoughts are there, but the visual aspect is missing. Makes you realize how different our experiences of reality can be, even within our own minds. Chapter 4. Garlic feet, anyone? Ever heard the saying, you are what you eat? Well, it gets a little weirder. Turns out your feet can taste garlic. Not in the traditional sense, of course. If you rub garlic on your feet, the molecules responsible for its pungent aroma can actually penetrate your skin. They travel through your bloodstream and eventually reach your mouth and nose, where you perceive the smell and taste. It's a phenomenon that highlights the interconnectedness of our senses and the surprising ways our bodies interact with the world around us. Chapter 5. Ladybugs. Cute but deadly. We all love ladybugs, right? Those cute little red and black beetles that bring good luck. Well, don't let their charming exterior fool you. These seemingly harmless creatures have a dark side. When food is scarce, ladybugs turn into ravenous cannibals. That's right, they'll devour their own kind, including ladybug larvae and even other young ladybugs. It's a stark reminder that survival instincts can trump even the most adorable appearances in the animal kingdom. Chapter 6. The Silent Mind. Ever have that inner voice, that constant chatter in your head? Well, some people don't. And it's not that they never have thoughts, their minds are just quiet. No running commentary, no internal monologues, just pure, uninterrupted thinking. It's like the difference between reading a book and having a conversation in your head. Imagine the peace and quiet. It challenges our assumptions about what it means to think and experience consciousness. Chapter 7. We often joke about dog people being obsessed, but there's some truth to it. A study found that a whopping 54% of dog owners would end a romantic relationship if their furry friend didn't approve of their partner. Think about it, that's over half. It seems our canine companions hold a special place in our hearts, sometimes even outweighing the importance of romantic love. It speaks volumes about the depth of the human-animal bond. Chapter 8. We've all heard of earthquakes, but moonquakes? It sounds like something out of Star Wars, but it's very real. The moon, despite being a seemingly inert celestial body, experiences its own version of seismic activity, and guess what? We're partially responsible for some of them. The Apollo missions left seismometers on the lunar surface, and they've detected tremors, some caused by human activities like crashing spacecraft into the moon. Talk about leaving your mark. Chapter 9. The Pledge of Allegiance, a staple in American schools, has a rather unexpected origin story. It wasn't born out of patriotism or a desire to unite the nation, it was actually a marketing campaign. Back in 1892, a children's magazine published the pledge as part of a competition to boost sales. They wanted to promote patriotism and sell flags to schools. It's a fascinating example of how something as seemingly ingrained in our culture as the Pledge of Allegiance has its roots in something as mundane as advertising. Ever notice how airplane food never quite tastes as good as it does on the ground? There's a scientific reason for that. When you're cruising at 30,000 feet, the low air pressure and lack of humidity in the cabin numb your taste buds, reducing your ability to taste by up to 30%. So that delicious-looking meal you ordered, it might taste bland and unappetizing at altitude. It's not the airline's fault, it's just physics messing with your senses. We all know sneezing is involuntary, but did you know it's basically a momentary blackout at high speeds? Think about it. You're driving 60 miles per hour and suddenly, achoo! That sneeze forces your eyes closed for a brief moment, but at that speed, you've traveled about 50 feet, essentially blind. It's a stark reminder of the importance of pulling over when you're feeling under the weather. I hate to break it to you, but you've probably eaten bug poop. Don't worry, it's not as bad as it sounds. Shellac, that shiny coating on candies like jelly beans, is actually derived from the excretions of the female lac bug. These tiny insects secrete a resinous substance that's harvested, processed, and used as a food glaze. It's a surprising example of how something we consider waste can have valuable applications in the food industry. Chapter 13. We tend to think of woolly mammoths as creatures from a distant past, roaming the earth alongside cavemen, but did you know they were still around when the pyramids were being built in Egypt? It's true. Woolly mammoths survived on Wrangel Island in the Arctic Ocean until about 4,000 years ago, which is relatively recent in the grand scheme of things. It's a reminder that our planet's history is full of unexpected overlaps and that extinction is not always a distant event. Chapter 14, Laughter. It's the best medicine, right? But it also might be a defense mechanism against impending doom. Okay, maybe not doom, but definitely discomfort. When you're tickled, your brain's pain center gets activated. Laughter, in this context, is thought to be a submissive response. It's your body's way of saying, hey, I'm no threat, please don't hurt me. Makes you think twice about that tickle fight, doesn't it? Chapter 15. We all know fireflies glow, but did you know humans emit light too? Don't worry, you won't be replacing your nightlight anytime soon. The light we emit is about 1,000 times weaker than what our eyes can detect. It's a byproduct of our metabolism, a kind of bioluminescence. It's fascinating to think we carry around this invisible glow, a testament to the energy constantly buzzing within us. To all my left-handed viewers out there, did you know you're part of a unique group facing a world not designed for you? Seriously, over 2,500 left-handed people die every year from injuries caused by using right-handed equipment. Scissors, can openers, even desks. They're all set up for righties. It's a stark reminder that we need to be more mindful of inclusivity, even in the design of everyday objects. Lefties, your struggle is real, and the world needs to catch up. Snails. They're slow, they're slimy, and they have teeth. Wait, what? Yes, you heard that right. Snails have thousands of tiny teeth on a ribbon-like tongue called a radula. This rasping organ acts like a miniature cheese grater, scraping up food and pulling it into their mouths. It's both fascinating and a little bit terrifying to imagine these tiny creatures with such powerful chompers. Those puppy dog eyes, those soulful gazes, they're not just cute, they're a product of evolution. Over millennia, dogs have developed facial muscles around their eyes that allow them to make specific expressions that tug at our heartstrings. It's a form of communication, a way for them to manipulate our emotions and get what they want, whether it's a treat, a belly rub, or a walk in the park. Clever girls and boys, those pups. Bedbugs, those tiny blood-sucking insects that haunt our nightmares, have been around for a long, long time. How long? Try 115 million years. That's right, these resilient critters have been around since the dinosaurs roamed the Earth. They've survived ice ages, meteor strikes, and even the invention of the vacuum cleaner. It's both impressive and horrifying to think that something so small can be so persistent. We often think of evolution as something that happened in the distant past, but the truth is, we're still evolving. One example is the fibella, a small bone in the knee that's becoming increasingly common in humans. Scientists believe it's related to changes in our diet and activity levels. It's a reminder that we're not the finished product of evolution, but rather a work in progress. You might be surprised to learn that your body contains enough iron to make a 3-inch long nail. That's about 3 grams of iron, mostly found in your red blood cells, where it helps transport oxygen throughout your body. It's a reminder that we're made up of the same elements as the stars, and that even seemingly insignificant amounts of certain substances play vital roles in our biology. Immortality, it's something humans have dreamt of for centuries, but it turns out it's already a reality for a certain species of jellyfish. Turritopsis dohrnii, also known as the immortal jellyfish, can revert to an earlier stage of its life cycle when faced with stress or injury. It's like a biological do-over, allowing it to essentially cheat death. Imagine the possibilities if humans could regenerate like that. King Charles III, he's known for his environmental advocacy, but did you know his Aston Martin runs on cheese and wine? Well, sort of. The car's been modified to run on bioethanol fuel, which can be made from surplus wine and whey, a byproduct of cheese making. It's a quirky example of how we can find innovative ways to repurpose waste and reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. The internet, that vast and sprawling digital landscape, is surprisingly reliant on a small group of individuals. Every 3 months, 7 people from around the world gather for a secret ceremony. Their mission? To protect the internet's domain name system, DNS, using 7 physical keys. These keys control the master key, which safeguards the system that translates website names into IP addresses. It's a reminder that even in the digital age, security often comes down to physical objects and trusted individuals. In the grand scheme of things, humans are just one species among millions inhabiting this planet. We share Earth with an estimated 8.7 million other species, from the tiniest insects to the largest whales. Each species plays a unique role in the intricate web of life, and we're only just beginning to understand the complexity of these connections. It's a humbling reminder that we're part of something much larger than ourselves, and that protecting biodiversity is crucial for the health of our planet. So there you have it, 25 mind-blowing facts that just might make you look at the world a little differently. From the bizarre to the profound, the universe is full of surprises, and it's our job to uncover them. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and never lose your sense of wonder. We often think of science as a collection of facts, but it's so much more than that. It's a process of discovery, a way of looking at the world with curiosity and skepticism. It's about asking why and how, and then seeking out the answers, no matter how strange or unexpected they may be. The universe is a vast and mysterious place, and we've only just scratched the surface. Who knows what other mind-blowing discoveries await us out there? Until next time, keep looking up.